Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Silas back again today. It was a beautiful day, and this may be one of the last beautiful days we have again for a while. So I thought I would come out here. I haven't been out here in a while, actually since spring. Thought I'd do a little bit of exploring. The main thing I wanted to check on was these old ponds. If you guys remember, on my main channel, I came out here and did some mushroom hunting last spring, and I discovered that these ponds were completely dry. These used to always hold water, but they were bone dry last spring, so I thought I'd come out here now. It's been a really dry summer, but we have gotten a little bit of rain and even a little bit of snow here in the last few weeks to a month. So I thought there was a chance that maybe there was a little bit of water in here, but it's still bone dry. It just soaks what moisture we do get right up. As much as I don't really like rain, I'm hoping we have a wet winter and a wet spring. Hopefully more so a wet spring than a wet winter. I don't like working when it's wet in the wintertime and cold, but if we can get a couple really good snows, that would really help out a ton. You can kind of see where the water line used to be on these trees, where they're a little bit darker down at the bottom. So this pond used to be about 4 to 5 feet deep. There were some areas that were a little bit shallower, but other areas were a little bit deeper. Over here was the really deep area. This spot here was about 5 foot. It's really kind of a shame. There used to be fish in here even. This used to be a really good place to go bird watching if you were into that. Watching ducks and geese and all sorts of birds. In fact, somewhere over here, there's an abandoned bird watching station. I don't remember exactly where it's at. I guess I can see if we can find it. But yeah, standing right here, this water would be about even with my chin. So be about 5 feet deep, maybe a little bit over. The last time I was here, it actually still smelled a little bit fishy. So this time it just smells like grass. So it's been dry all summer. It never did get water in it. There was actually a second pond over here, although this one wasn't nearly as big, but it was a little bit deeper. But there's a land bridge in between them, kind of so you can walk on this trail. All sorts of picnic tables out here where people used to go take picnics and things like that. It's kind of overgrown and deserted. It's kind of sad, really. And then there was a third pond back here, but this one was always shallow. I remember this one going dry several times through the years. When I was here last spring, I couldn't quite figure out why this had happened. I didn't know what had caused this, but actually last summer, I don't remember, it was about 3 months ago or so, I think I figured out what the problem was. And the problem is about, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, they built a brand new campground just to the north of here. It's a state-owned campground, just like this is state property here. But in the middle of that campground, they dug a gigantic pond. And the same creek that feeds that pond is the same creek that used to feed these ponds. And so when we don't get much rain, what little rain we do get feeds into that gigantic pond. It holds it all, and it doesn't release enough of it to fill these ponds. So that's kind of unfortunate, but not that many people came to these ponds anymore anyway, and tons of people go to that campground. So I guess from the state's perspective, it was a winning venture. I don't know if that's the right way to put it or not, but it worked out for them. I can't find that dock. They must have taken it out for liability reasons because it was kind of dilapidated, but it was kind of neat once upon a time. Here's what's left of the old outhouses. I don't think these are even usable anymore. Guess we can check them out real quick. They never did have doors on them. I guess they still have toilets in them. I wouldn't want to use this in the summertime though. It's got a lot of wasp nests in here. And here's where the creek used to run in. Right under this bridge. It would flow right through here and go on out to the ponds. Alright, I'm not going to lie. The real reason why I'm out here today is for my anniversary present. My wife got me a new lens from a camera and a new microphone. I'm using the microphone now, and I actually just switched to the new lens. I started out with the old one, and I wanted to compare it to the new one. It's a little bit different zoom. The other one is 17 to 24, I believe, and this one is 28 to 105. I wanted to be able to zoom in on stuff like those birds I just showed. Those were a long ways away. I would have never been able to capture those with my old lens. I like filming with my iPhone. That's what I film most of my videos with, that and a GoPro, and they do pretty good, but sometimes in certain conditions, the iPhone gets really grainy and just the footage is kind of hard to work with. You get what you get, and that's that. Whereas with an actual camera, once I get better at it, I'll be able to make some pretty good quality footage. Right now, I'm still learning, so I'm not perfect, but that's the purpose of today. I'm out here learning. Weight limit, 5 tons. I don't know how in the world you get 5 tons on that bridge to start with. What are they driving in here that's going to be over 5 tons that'll fit on this bridge? Would you look at that thing up there? Is that a burl? I know what a burl is. There's actually a bunch of them out here, small ones, but that thing's huge. If that's a burl, that'd make a really big bowl. I know people like to make bowls and things like that out of them because of the unique design of the wood, the way the wood grows when it's like that. But I just never seen one that big. Well, I kind of struck out today. I was hoping to find some more wildlife, and all I seemed to find was a bunch of birds, which that's okay, I guess. Better than nothing. But the only other animals I found was a dead armadillo and the remainder of a carcass, mainly just the spine and fur of a deer. I really thought I'd find some live deer out here, or at least see them off in the distance, because there's so many hunters all around here. I can hear them shooting the rifles, and there's no hunting allowed here. So I thought for sure the deer would all be coming here because they know it's safe. So then I thought I would go check out and see if there's any mushrooms. Sometimes oysters will grow in the fall, and it's been too dry, but I thought, well, you know what? We've had a little bit of rain lately. Maybe if it wasn't too cold, they went ahead and grew, but I think it's just been too cold. The places that normally grow them, I looked all over those places, and I couldn't find any. Check out this little tiny bird nest. Still has the remainder of some eggs in it, the shells. Whatever was in there is long gone now. And see, stuff like that. I wasn't expecting to find that. That's not what I came out here to find. But I'm out here having an adventure, and that's what I found. Sometimes that's what adventure's all about, is you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing. You don't know exactly what you're going to see, but you just get out there and you find that adventure. And that's the whole reason why I started a YouTube channel in the first place, was to encourage to get out there and do that. Now, I know most of the time I'm around cars, and I've been around cars my entire life, so people say, oh, well, it's easy for you. But you know, you can get out there and find whatever is an adventure to you. I highly recommend you find state parks like this. Absolutely beautiful, lots of trails. This place is huge. You can take different trails every time you come out here, so you just never know what you're going to find, what you're going to see, and it's nature. It's constantly changing. There are places out here that are totally different than what they were a few years ago. If you don't know where to go, I'm sure you can look it up on your state's website, or maybe you can just find a website that's for your state that shows places to go hiking, places to find little fun adventures. A lot of places will tell you how long the trail is or how technical the trail is if it's up in the mountains. Whew, I smell a skunk. I'm going to have to keep my eyes out. But anyway, there's definitely some place you can go to do something like this. I was reading, and I think Kansas is the second lowest percentage-wise of public property in all 50 states. I don't know what number one is. I'm assuming it's probably like Oklahoma or Nebraska or somewhere like that. But most of Kansas is privately owned. Despite that, there are still tons of awesome places that you can go exploring. Within an hour drive of me, there's probably about 10 different places I can go and hang out if I want to. But let me know in the comments what your favorite type of adventure to go on is. Me, personally, it's kind of a mix-up. I love doing stuff like this where I'm outdoors. I love hiking, I love camping, I love fishing, I love doing all that sort of stuff. But I also love being around cars, so I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up for me. But maybe you love doing something else totally different. A lot of people, their adventure is to go shopping, see if they can find a good bargain on something. And that's okay. If that's what you like doing, by all means, do that. A lot of people like to sit around and mope about everything in life. And they like to mope about political situations, or this situation, or that situation, or family situations. And rather than do that, if you're physically able, get out there and just get your mind off that stuff, whatever it is, whether you're around cars, whether you're hiking, whether you're shopping. Now, I do understand not everybody is physically able to do stuff like that, and I do feel for you on that. I know a couple years ago when I had kidney surgery right during the spring, it was murder on me because I couldn't go anywhere or do anything. I had to just lay on the couch. And in those circumstances, I had to live through other people on YouTube. But if you are able, get out there, find that adventure. With that, I think I'm about done. I don't know what the audio is going to sound like, and I really don't even know what the video is going to look like on this, just because this is an all brand new setup. I'm probably not going to use this lens for vlogging much in the future because it is very heavy and it is wearing my arm out. But for being able to zoom in and for nature, videography, and photography, this is a good lens. So I'll just carry both and I can switch back and forth. And when I'm out at the junkyard, I'll probably just keep on using my iPhone. This camera here is very expensive and these lenses are expensive, and so I would hate to drop it on a car or something like that. iPhones are somewhat expensive, but they're a little bit more durable than this. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Remember to get out there and find that adventure no matter what it is. We'll see you next time.